Welcome to EduRev.
Hi all, my name is Sarika Tulsiani, and today we are going to look at one of the most important topics and also one of the most easiest topics asked in CAT, which is time and work. So let's start with the first concept of time and work. Now suppose if I give you an example, suppose if I tell you A takes 12 days to do a piece of work. ठीक है, A takes 12 days to do a piece of work. One day में वो कितना करेगा? How much will he do in one day? So if he takes 12 days to do a complete work, can I say in one day he will do 1/12 of the work? ठीक है, he will do 1/12 of the work. Second day also he will do 1/12 of the work. Third day 1/12, fourth day 1/12. ऐसे करते करते on the 12th day he will complete his entire work. So in this case, what is happening is we are assuming that our total work is 1. Because we are saying 1/12, 1/12, 1/12 and so on. So until the 12th day, 12/12 of the work will be completed. So that is nothing but 1. So we are assuming the total work is 1. Okay? So let's take an example. Suppose if I tell you A takes 12 days to do a piece of work, B takes 24 days to do the same piece of work. ठीक है? If they work together, in how many days can my work get completed? ठीक है? If they work together, in how many days is the work completed? Now what do we do is we talk about one day again. So one day में A will do 1/12 of the work. One day में B will do 1/24 of the work. They are working together. So the total work will be 1/12 plus 1/24. So the LCM of 12 and 24 is 24. So I'll multiply this with 2. So this also with 2. 2 plus 1 will give me 3. So 3/24. 3/24 is nothing but 1/8 of the work will be done by them in one day. 1/8 of the work is done in one day. So to do the entire work, that is one work, how many days will they take? This 8 will go on the other side. So they will take 8 days to complete the entire work. ठीक है? They will take 8 days. Now in this case, what is happening is we are using the concept of reciprocals. ठीक है, we are using reciprocals because 12 days so 1/12, 24 days so one day में 1/24 and so on. And then we are trying to simplify the question. But my point is most of the questions of time and work can be solved without the reciprocals, without the fractions, which makes your sum very, very easy. So that method is called as the LCM method or the unitary method. See, the process is the same, but our only target is to avoid the reciprocals. How do we do that? Now let's try to do the same example by the LCM method, or as we call it, the unitary method. ठीक है, what do we do? What are they saying? देखो, A takes 12 days to do a work. B takes 24 days to do the same work. Now in the previous case, we had assumed the total work to be 1. In this case, we are going to assume the total work to be the LCM. Your total work is going to be the LCM. Now what is the LCM of 12 and 24? The LCM of 12 and 24 is 24. So I will assume 24 units to be my total work. This is my total work. Now let's talk about one day. A takes 12 days to do 24 units. ठीक है, 12 days to do 24 units. तो one day में कितना करेगा? अगर 12 days में 24 करता है तो can I say one day में he will do 2 units. Correct? See, the product of this and this should give you 24. Similarly, B takes 24 days to do 24 units because your total work is 24. तो one day में कितना करेगा? One day में B will do 1 unit. ठीक है? So together these guys do 3 units in one day. Correct? They have to do 24 units because that is our total work. तो 24 units करने को कितना टाइम लगेगा? If 3 units take one day, 24 units will take 24 upon 3, which is 8 days. And that is your answer. So the answer is the same as the previous one. ठीक है? The only thing is we are using the LCM method, and in this method we have no reciprocals, no fractions at all. So it makes our sums really easy. So let's try to solve certain questions by using the LCM or the unitary method. So this is our first problem. What does it say? R can do a piece of work in 24 days, S in 48 days. Now S joins R after R had worked alone for 6 days. In how many more days would the work get completed? ठीक है? So they are saying R can do a piece of work in 24 days. S can do the work in 48 days. Our step 1 is to find the LCM of the two. 24 and 48. The LCM would be 48 units. So this is going to be our total work. ठीक है? Now let's talk about one day. Let's talk about one day. R takes 24 days to do 48 units. तो one day में कितना करेगा? One day में he will do 2 units. S takes 48 days to do 48 units. तो one day में he will do 1 unit. So together these guys do 3 units in one day. 3 units करता है one day में, so they have to do 48 units. ठीक है? So 48 units would ideally take how much time? That would have been the process. But the thing is, these guys do not work for the entire days together. They are not doing the entire work together, so we don't need to consider this 48 right now. See, they can do 3 units together in one day, that is correct. But what are they saying? S joins R after R had worked alone for 6 days. So R had worked alone for 6 days. Now देखो, R does 2 units in one day. So R has worked for 6 days. So can I say 6 days में R has done 12 units. So our total work was 48. उसमें से 12 units are already done by R. So the remaining units are 36 units. Now S is going to come into the picture. Now S and R are working together. Now the question is, in how many more days would the work get completed? See, understand, these guys are doing 3 units in one day. Okay? They are doing 3 units in one day. They have to do how much work together? They have to do 36 units together. So 36 units करने के लिए they will take how much time? So they will take 36 upon 3, which is 12 days. The question is, how many more days would be required? The answer is they would require 12 more days to complete the work. And that is your answer. Now let's look at the next problem. So let's see, what does it say? A can lay a railway track between 2 given stations in 16 days, and B can do the same job in 12 days. With the help of C, they did the job in 4 days only. So with the help of C, so when all 3 worked together, they completed the work in 4 days. Now the question is, C alone can do the job in how many days? ठीक है? Now what are they saying? देखो, A alone takes 16 days. B alone takes 12 days. C alone takes how many days? We don't know. Okay, we don't know. But A, B, C together took 4 days. With the help of C, they completed the job in 4 days. Now, whatever data is given, you're going to calculate the LCM. So you need the LCM of 16, 12 and 4. ठीक है? So the LCM of 16, 12 and 4 will be 48 units. So this is your total work. Now we are going to talk about one day. ठीक है? One day. Now A takes 16 days to do 48 units. So one day में A will do 3 units because 16 into 3 will give you 48. Similarly, B takes 12 days to do 48 units. So one day में B will do 4 units. ठीक है? टोटल कितना हुआ? चेक दैट. 4 days में these guys were able to do 48 units. तो 1 day में they will do how much? 1 day में they will do 48 divided by 4 which is 12 units. ठीक है, 1 day में total all of them did 12 units together. Now the question is C did how many units? See, A and B मिला के did 7 units. Total 12 units are done. So can I say C will do 12 minus 7 which is 5 units. ठीक है, so C will do 5 units in 1 day. Now let's talk about C. They are asking you C alone will do the job in how many days? Now C does 5 units in 1 day. So in order to do 48 units, C will take how many days? So your days will be 48 upon 5. So we'll convert it into a mixed fraction. So your base will be 5 only. 5 के टेबल में 48 से closest value is 45. 5 9s are 45. I have 2 remaining, 3 remaining. ठीक है, because it's 48. So 9 5s are 45 plus 3. So C will take 9 3 by 5 days. That is your answer. Your answer need not necessarily be proper integer values always. You can get mixed fractions as well. ठीक है? Now let's look at the next question. Alright. A can do a certain work in the same time in which B and C together can do it. So A's time is the same as B and C का time together. ठीक है? If A and B together could do it in 10 days, C alone in 50 days, B alone could do it in how many days? थोड़ा सा difficult question है. See, understand. A and B together can do it in 50 days. In 10 days. A and B together could do it in 10 days. C alone could do it in 50 days. ठीक है, what are we going to do? We are going to take the LCM again. So 10 and 50 का LCM हो जाएगा 50 units. So this is my total work. Now let's talk about 1 day. A, B take 10 days to do 50 units. The 1 day में they will do 5 units. ठीक है, C takes 50 days to do 50 units. So 1 day में he will do 1 unit. So if I talk about all of them together, A plus B plus C, these guys do 6 units in 1 day. ठीक है, these guys do 6 units in 1 day. But they have given a very important statement which is this. A's time is the same as B and C's time together. So can I say if the time is the same, the work done will also be the same. That means A एक दिन में जितना काम करता है, B and C do the same amount of work in that time because only then A का time and B C का time same होगा. So that means if A does X units in a day, B and C together will also do X units in a day. The work done has to be the same. So if I add, this is equal to 6 units. So your 2x is equal to 6 units. That means your x का value is 3 units. ठीक है, x का value is 3 units. Means what? Now we know A, B, C together do 6 units. Correct? उसमें से we know C does 1 unit. ठीक है, C does 1 unit. But you know B plus C was x. ठीक है, B plus C was x. और x का वैल्यू क्या है? x का वैल्यू 3 यूनिट्स है. सो इफ B plus C is 3, तो B का वैल्यू हो जाएगा 2 यूनिट्स एंड A का वैल्यू इज 3 यूनिट्स बिकॉज दिस प्लस दिस गिव यू 6. ठीक है, नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज B alone takes how much time? ठीक है, B does 2 units in 1 day. B does 2 units in 1 day. Correct? He has to do 50 units because we had assumed the total work to be 50 units. तो 50 units करने को कितना टाइम लगेगा? 50 units will take 25 days. So B can alone complete the task in 25 days and that is your answer. ठीक है? Now let's look at the next question. What does it say? A can complete a piece of work in 12 days, which B and C can complete in 16 and 20 days respectively. All three of them started the work, but A left after 4 days and B left 2 days before the completion of work. In how many days was the work completed? Okay? So our starting process is going to be the same. So A takes 12 days, B takes 16 days, and C takes 20 days to do a piece of work. Our step 1 is to find the LCM of 12, 16 and 20. Now, if I take 120, 120 is not divisible by 16. So the next number which will be divisible by all three is 240. Okay, 240 is divisible by 12 also, 16 also, 20 also. So 240 units is your total work. Now let's talk about 1 day. A takes 12 days to do 240 units. So 1 day में कितना करेगा? 240 upon 12 which is 20 units. B takes 16 days to do 240. So 1 day में B will do 16 ones are 16 and 16 fives is 80, so 15 units. C takes 20 days to do 240 units. So 1 day में C will do 12 units. Okay? 12 20s is 240. Now let's add them together. So A plus B plus C in a single day do how many units? 15 plus 12 is 27. 27 plus 20 is 47 units. Okay? So these guys do 47 units in 1 day. But they are saying A left after 4 days. So 4 days mein how many units will they do? So this will be 47 into 4. So 7 4s is 28. 4 4s is 16 plus 2 is 18. The 188 units will be done by them in 4 days. So 240 may say 188 units are done. So how much is remaining? This will be 2. 13 minus 8 is 5 and that's 8. 52 units are remaining because 188 units are already done. A left after 4 days, B left 2 days before the completion of work. Now we don't know for how many days did the work last. B left 2 days before the completion of work. So if I talk about, let's say the last 2 days, okay, the last 2 days. Who was working for the last 2 days? See, A had already gone. B also left. So C was the only one working for last 2 days. Now C does 1 day में 12 units. So 2 days में C will do 24 units. So 2 days में C had done 24 units. So out of 52, 24 was done by C in the last 2 days. So how much is remaining? 12 minus 4 is 8. This will become 4 minus 2 which is 28 units. Okay? So 28 units are remaining. Now can you tell me who is going to do these 28 units? Last 2 days only C was there. First 4 days A was there with BC. So in the middle days we had B and C working together. So B and C cumulatively have to do these 28 units. Okay? So B and C have done these units. B and C do how many units in a day? They do 27 units in a day. So 1 day may these guys do 27 units. So 28 units will take how many days? So 28 units will take 28 upon 27 days. So that will be 27 ones is 27. I have 1 extra. So they will take 1 by 27th day. Now the question is, total work was done in how many days? Total how many days were taken? See, first ABC worked for 4 days. Then last 2 days was done by C. And middle ka 1 by 27th day was done by B and C. So total is 4 plus 2 plus 1 by 27. So if you add all of them, it becomes 7 1 by 27 days, and this is your answer. Now let's move on to the next question. Individually, A, B, C, D, E can complete a piece of work in 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 days. A starts the work. After 2 days, B and E take over from him. They work for the next 3 days. And then C completes half of the remaining work and D completes the remaining work. How long did the work last? Now, if you try to do this sum by the reciprocal method, believe me, it's going to take a lot of time and it is going to make your sum extremely complex. But if you use the LCM method, it makes your sum very, very easy. Now, what are they saying? The individual days are given by A, B, C, D, E. So first we'll find the LCM. So 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Like the previous sum, your LCM is going to be 240 units only. The one day mein 8 will do how many? A will do how many units? Because A takes 8 days. So one day mein A will do 240 upon 8, which is 30 units. B will do 12 twos, so this will be 20 units. C will be doing 15 units because 16 into 15 is 240. D will be doing 20 into, so this will be 12 units, and E will be doing 10 units. Okay? These are the individual units they can do in one day. We are not going to add them because they are not working together. Now let's focus on how did they start. A starts the work. After 2 days, B and E take over from him. So A worked for 2 days only. So A one day में does 30 units. So 2 days में A has done 60 units. So out of the total work, 60 is already done. So we are left with 180 units. ठीक है? This is remaining. Now B and E take over and they work for the next 3 days. देखो, B and E together will be doing one day में 30 units because B is doing 20, E is doing 10, तो total हो जाएगा 30. They worked for 3 days. So 3 days में they will complete 90 units. तो 180 में 90 is done. So you are left with 90 units. Now C then works to complete half of the remaining work. So C works to do half of 90. So that is 45 units. Now देखो, C does 15 units in one day. तो 45 units करने को C will take 3 days because 15 3s is 45. So 45 units are done by C. You are left with 45 units. And then they are saying D completes the remaining half. Now, if D is going to complete the remaining half, so D has to do 45 units. D does 12 units in one day. तो 45 units करने को कितना टाइम लगेगा? D will take 45 upon 12 days. So 45 upon 12 both are divisible by 3. So 3 4s are, so this will be 3 1s are 3, 3 5s are 15. So D will take 15 by 4 days. So if you convert it, your base will be 4. 4 3s are 12. You have 3 extra. So 3 by 4 days. So the question is, total how many days were taken? Total. Earlier A worked for 2 days. Then these guys worked for 3 days. Then C worked for 3 days. And D worked for 3 by 4 days. So 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. So your answer is 11 3 by 4 days were taken to complete the entire task. So, in this video, we have seen the basic concept of time and work and solved quite a few questions on the LCM method. We have a lot of tests prepared on this particular topic wherein you can go try to solve a few questions within the stipulated time and see whether you're really comfortable with this topic or not. We have over 10,000 questions available for your practice prepared by EduRev educators. So I would request you to go and try those questions. Also, if you have certain doubts, you can send us a mail at support@edurev.in. Also, for anything else, you can visit the website www.edurev.in. I hope you've understood the concepts of time and work. Thank you so much.